So in this video, I'm going to show you the entire AI backend infrastructure that runs about 90% of our entire operations with just custom GPTs. Okay. So everything you're going to be looking at here is built inside our agency, and I built it from complete scratch by myself. It's just not some random ass prompts. It's custom trained GPT prompts built on real client data, our sales calls, and the exact outputs we see every single day. And they automatically update as well through a simple type form. So anytime my team wants to tweak a prompt or add new examples or upload new client data as well, they just submit it and the backend updates by itself. It takes like 10 seconds or so. And thanks to this setup, AI literally handles all the heavy backend work for us: the funnel copy, the ad copy, the client messaging, the SOP creation as well, whenever I want to create a new SOP, and tons of other backend tasks as well. And literally for every single team member, it saves them around 10 to 20 hours a week. And it ultimately creates a lot of leverage. Your profit margins obviously increase. And it basically gives us a ton of operational leverage, and also it removes ops drag as well. And it ultimately allows your team to be super lean, but super efficient as well. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how each single component here works. So let's get into it. Okay. So it's basically consisting of three components. All right. We have the custom GPT stack, which I'm going to walk you through a few examples there, and how we basically automate updating these GPT stacks, and then kind of like the outcomes as well. And then it basically creates like a flywheel, right? Because it's fully automated essentially. So just to give you some quick examples of some custom GPT prompts that we have basically been building. So we have one that's called Offer Engine GPT. And this basically helps our clients in the backend create their offers within literally 5 minutes. Okay. Because in my backend, we have a school community and a video course essentially. And this offer messaging thing is basically one of them. And that's where they kind of leverage this ChatGPT. And it's basically trained on our entire offer directory, every single winning offer that we've tested and ran for every single client. It reverse engineers the best offers based on the niche, constraints, and price point for the client as well. And it basically gives them a few different types of offer variations they can run, and low, mid, and high ticket offers, and ultimately just gives them a lot of clarity on how to create their own offers. Now, another example here as well is the Media Buyer Foundation GPT here as well. So this basically helps us create the ad angles and messaging based on what's actually converting. So basically just creates the messaging for the client. So my media buying team, they don't just sit down and think about what type of messaging to push for this client essentially. This GPT prompt does the entire heavy lifting completely for them, and is basically trained on our entire ad library, the ad library from our top performing clients as well, and basically gives them crystal clear ICP messaging here, and basically gives us all the pain points and dream outcomes and stuff that we want to be focusing on when creating the actual ad creatives themselves. So this is the next GPT prompt that we have created. I'm going to show you this one in a bit as well. But this one basically creates all the ad video scripts and all the AI image ad copy as well, and basically spits out the entire script in literally like 10 seconds, hooks, CTA angles, and everything based on the client's niche and offer, because obviously we want to tailor everything, right? So this is ultimately like what it gives us out. It gives us a couple different kind of primary text variations that we can run as well for the client. And again, it's obviously trained on like the best performing ones that we have ran before for the clients. So it kind of like knows the framework and what's going to hit really well in the B2C market essentially. Now, another GPT prompt that you can build out here as well is a CSM communication GPT. And this basically automates like 80% of the client communication here, okay? Because it's going to generate the exact Slack messages. Because if, for example, my CSM got a message from our client and the client is super pissed and the CSM doesn't know what the fuck to reply, then this prompt is basically perfect, right? Because it's trained on scenarios just like that, right? It knows exactly what's going to happen and how to essentially go about the scenario in the best possible way. Now, we've also created a Slack AI bot as well that the client can just talk to whenever they have a question about anything. And that AI bot basically instantly replies, which is super, super valuable as well. And again, this one is just stacked on a bunch of data from different scenarios and stuff. So really, really helpful for the CSMs, especially when they're new to the role. It's going to allow them to basically learn super, super quickly. And they can literally ask it anything they want to the GPT and they'll just learn it instantly, right? Because the GPT knows more than them essentially. Now, in terms of this as well, we do also have a niche data analysis GPT. And this is basically trained on our own sales calls automatically, okay? And this kind of goes into running the ads and stuff for my own agency, right? This helps a lot because This basically analyzes our niche and builds messaging based on our actual sales calls, because it's basically fully automated here, right? Whenever I take a new sales call, this GPT prompt gets the transcript from that sales call instantly after it, and instantly basically analyze the objections, the fear, desires, the outcomes, the pain points of the clients as well. And it basically just constantly feeds it more and more data. So whenever we're going to start running ads again, or we want to test a new different type of angle or creative or something, it has so much data and knows our niche so damn well that the script is literally guaranteed to print, right? Because it knows the niche so damn well, so we can crystallize the messaging from there, right? And it basically helps the media buying department so much as well, when they're gonna send over new ad creatives to the UGC creator and so on. Now, a different example here as well is like a client sales call review. This is another thing that we've built out and put in our own moat in the backend, basically in like the backend video course that we have for clients. Because again, sales is one of those aspects that you don't directly control, right? You can indirectly control it. And this is one of the ways you can indirectly control it, okay? Simply by having a custom GPT prompt that reviews the sales calls for the clients automatically. So basically gets the transcript from the sales call and basically gives the client a ton of feedback on, how to go about the objection handling and all that stuff. And it's trained on like Jeremy Miner and all these big guys in the industry. And it basically gives the client like a 24/7 sales coach. Basically tells them what they did wrong and what they could have done differently. And so the client automatically improves, right? Now, another thing here as well, this is like the last example I'm going to give you, but I also leverage a SOP builder GPT that I built out. So whenever I record a new SOP video for like a new role, for example, then I basically just give the Loom video, like the transcript of the Loom video, to this GPT prompt, and it basically just creates the entire SOP step by step, the entire way through, the bullet points, the timestamps, literally everything, completely for me, right? So the only thing I have to actually focus on when I create a new SOP is to just record a Loom video showing them how to do it, and then boom, the entire thing is basically spitted out on pen and paper. So this is really beautiful. This was just an example here. So let me just show you how you can basically create a custom GPT prompt for yourself. So you basically want to get ChatGPT Plus. It's like $20 a month. It's nothing crazy. And then you want to go up to create on the top right here. And then you're basically going to be met with this. And then you basically just name what the ChatGPT is going to be, focusing on. So in this case, I'm going to do like primary text, GPT, and this one. And then the really important part here is the instructions here, okay? So this is basically what you want to tell it, what it's going to be about. And then I'd really recommend that you use like 5.1 and turn off web search and image generation and canvas. You don't really need that stuff. And then what you can do here as well is that you can upload files. This is, for example, really good if you want to build a custom GPT prompt on me, for example. Then you can literally go on a website that transcripts entire YouTube channel's content and basically gives you that in a single file. And then you upload the file into there. And then you basically have me as a custom GPT prompt, right? It's fucking genius. But for this example, you don't really need to upload any files here. In the instructions here, you basically just tell it what it's about. And then you also give it some examples in here of some really high converting primary text that worked for your clients, okay? Like this is the one that we're personally using for my own agency. I'm not really going to show you the scripts and so on because that's private info. You can just see here what I put in the instructions and so on. And then I gave it like a ton of examples of some different scripts that performed really well. In the conversation starter here as well, you basically just want it to be something like this. And then once you basically press this button, then here you basically just upload the video ad scripts for the client and also the image ads that you're going to be running. And then it basically tailors the primary text from there. Now, we obviously do want to automate a lot of this process here as well. So whenever my team wants to update some of these custom GPT prompts, I basically have an operational wizard in my backend who basically focuses on AI and automating shit and all that stuff. Really high leverage role that you can make with your agency, I'd say. And he's basically built out this system where we basically have a type form, whereas the team basically chooses, it's like a drop down, and it basically chooses which GPT prompt they want to update. So they choose, one of these, and then they upload files or paste the text, like what they want to update within the prompt, within the instructions and the knowledge and everything. And then they obviously give it some context here as well. And when they hit submit on this type form, it basically auto updates the GPT prompt. And it just gives us so much leverage in the backend because we don't have to go in and specifically update every single GPT prompt, right? We can just do it with one click and a few buttons, right? It literally takes us less than 2 minutes to do. And it ultimately just allows you to automate more of the stuff that's automated, essentially. Now, once you start building out some of these custom GPT prompts and also create them for every single role in the business as well, like for example, my CSMs, they have their own GPTs that they can ask it any sort of question about the business or about results or about what to reply to the client. And it ultimately saves you so much time because these GPTs as well are going to automatically evolve as the business evolves. Okay, you're essentially training your agency's internal brain over time, right? And it basically allows the backend to be 90% automated. The onboarding phase can be way faster. Your entire SOP library is basically scalable. You can test more creatives based on real data. And as a natural result of that, the client results obviously will be way better as well. And it gives the team as well a ton of leverage. Thanks to that, there's going to be less dependency on you, and ultimately it just allows you to have less operational drag and have a leaner team in the backend, which ultimately increases the profits, right, of the agency. So that's basically how you leverage AI here to automate most of the stuff in the backend. Okay, like for example, with my media buyers, the only thing they actually focus on is just setting up the ads. Okay, scripting the ads, creating the headline, creating the primary text for the ads, that's all taken care of for them thanks to these custom GPT prompts that basically does the heavy work for them. So it saves them a lot of time and they can basically create and set up way more ads for the clients. And so their workload is basically going to minimize and they're going to be able to do more work in a less period of time, right? And that's the definition of being effective, okay? Now, these outcomes as well that we run for these creatives, they obviously get automatically updated as well into the GPT stack as well. So they over time know what's going to work and what's not going to work essentially. So yeah, boys, that was pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it gave you a lot of creative insights on how to basically automate more stuff in the backend and basically increase profits as well. And basically have a leaner but more effective team. Okay, so yeah, boys, that was pretty much it for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.